The inner critic, saboteurs, gremlins. No matter the name, have they been lurking around lately? Tripping you up and holding you back from your future. These guys are persistent and insidious. And as one of my favorite clients recently said, the inner critic often gets loudest right before growth. I have found this to be true over and over for myself and for others. So I decided it's high time for a call to action, take back control, and toss the critic out of the room. I promise you, life is so much better when the chatter and noise of self-doubt is silenced and you are free to grow. This is The Growth Moment with your coach, Amy Kay. Inspiration, ideas, and incredible insights for you to be more and do more. Get ready to grow today. My client, colleague, and friend, Margaret Weniger, is the one I mentioned. I want to share her full LinkedIn post because she describes the inner critic's attempted sabotage perfectly. Really listen to Margaret's words and hear what insight or aha is meant for you. Right before I walked on stage, my inner critic tried to convince me I didn't belong there. You have no business being on this stage. Why would anyone want to hear your story? They'll regret inviting you to speak. And for a moment, I almost believed it. Here's what I've learned. The inner critic often gets loudest right before growth. I was about to do something I hadn't done before. Share my personal story publicly, and that vulnerability triggered every old script about not being enough. But instead of letting that voice take over, I came back to the facts. I had earned my place in this room. I had something worth sharing. And fear was simply signaling that something meaningful was happening. The nerves didn't disappear. They just changed shape from fear into excitement. So much of career growth looks like this. Not eliminating self-doubt, but refusing to let it hold the microphone. If your inner critic has been loud lately, maybe it's because you're closer to your next leap than you think. Okay, what rings true for you? The part about the critic getting loudest right before growth? Old scripts getting triggered? I really loved the part about how fear is simply signaling that something meaningful is happening. What a reframe. And then the bit on not eliminating self-doubt, but refusing to let it hold the microphone. Each of these is solid gold, truth, wisdom, actionable insight. Again, what is resonating for you? Is there a place you are poised for meaningful growth? And are the saboteurs rushing in and trying to hijack your opportunity? I can't tell you how many times I've watched a client get overwhelmed by negative forces as they enter a growth moment. Right before the job interview, at the brink of a promotion, the first days or weeks of dating someone special, facing a big decision or move, or, like Margaret, literally before taking the stage to speak. The inner critic jumps in and grabs the microphone. Sometimes the message is straight up self-doubt. Other times the critic tries to persuade with cynicism or skepticism. They have many strategies. They can even rally the outer critics to get noisy. Never underestimate the persistence and manipulative powers of the saboteur. So take a look and decide if there is an area where you are ready to shut down the critic and clear your growth path. When we come back, we'll do some coaching together, and then I will send you on your way. As my clients know, I'm a vigilant inner critic warrior, ever alert to the opportunity to help my fellow humans stay gremlin-free. Unfortunately, it often requires ongoing maintenance, not a one-and-done kind of clearing. If you haven't already, listen to episode 33, Inner Critic 101. It offers tried and true foundational tools. And of course, there are endless resources online, and I'm always here to help you figure out what you most need. But for today, I want to use Margaret's example as our template to coach you. Go ahead and pick the life area where your inner critic or saboteur is trying to hold on to the microphone. Let's play together to see if we can grab it back. Remember, you can always pause the audio to jot down thoughts and take this at your own pace. Let's coach. I invite you to lean back. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Relax your shoulders. Set aside the day-to-day and be here. First, I'm shining the spotlight on the critic. We will let it have the microphone just for a moment. What exactly does it have to say? Go ahead, write it down as if you're taking notes in a lecture. Remember, Margaret had 3 specific statements. You have no business being on this stage. Why would anyone want to hear your story? They'll regret inviting you to speak. What does your critic say? Critics can be tricky. They might sound logical on the surface. So be wary, and you don't have to judge or refute at present. Just jot it all down. Now pause and breathe. Loosen up. I want you to know that yes, the inner critic often gets loudest right before growth. It's when the old programming and messaging gets triggered. That's normal and we can handle it. So the next step is to ponder, what growth are you approaching or in the midst of? Take a moment to see the opportunity in front of you and know that it's not surprising the saboteurs want to jump in. It helps to understand why they're getting so bossy. For Margaret, I happen to know that she just published her first book, Broken, all about designing careers in an outdated and flawed system. Amazing achievement, and totally predictable that the saboteur is all over this next level moment. Close your eyes. Make sure to get out of your head and just see or feel the current or impending growth that might be triggering your critic. If you can, capture your thoughts. Write it down. Okay. Next, I want the facts, or at least alternative framing. Is your critic speaking truth? Partial truth? Complete BS? I want you to take the microphone and give me the scoop. Margaret's was, I earned my place in this room and I have something worth sharing. State your facts. Actually, claim your facts and write them down in black and white. If you're having trouble with this step, try a shift. If you think the critic is partially true, what is the rest of the truth? What might someone from the outside say, or what would your biggest champion's view be? Bottom line, brainstorm a few statements to counter the critic's narrative. Know this. You are already taking back the power in this relationship. Excellent effort. Let's finish it up, though. Transforming fear or negativity into excitement. As Margaret said, fear was simply signaling that something meaningful was happening. Zoom out. What is trying to happen for you? What is the bigger goal and growth that is possible? Find the meaningful behind the gremlin noise and misdirection. Even if you don't see the full picture yet, trust that meaning is emerging. You have permission to grow. It's your right and gift to take. Now see if you can capture this step. Jot down what is meaningful in this moment. That's our coaching exercise. Remember, I don't promise that we can eliminate self-doubt or negativity entirely. My goal is simply to make sure you are in charge of processing that doubt and using it for your highest potential. Check it out. Who is holding the microphone now? Is it firmly in your hand? Know that you might be closer to your next leap than you think. As I mentioned, for more help, listen to episode 33, Inner Critic 101. And actually, my very first episode was coaching a guest on their self-described 800-pound inner critic. That's also a good one. And check out Margaret's book, Broken. It's on Amazon, all the other expected places. Definitely an inspiring read. Send me what tools you're using and ones that you have found on your own. Life is so much better when the self-doubting chatter and noise is silenced and you're free to grow. As always, you're welcome to share, ask a question, or get your own growth moment, whether it's one-on-one private coaching or joining one of my coaching groups or workshops. Find all the episodes on thegrowthmoment.com and follow on your favorite podcast app or on my YouTube channel. Now get out there and grow today.